There is someone out there who will rise to the occasion and give you what you need and want. Just because the Chad you're with now won't meet you on a Friday night doesn't mean the Chris won't text you on a Thursday to tell you how excited he is to take you out and then show up at your door with flowers. Bestie, these men exist. Hey besties, and welcome to our cozy corner of the podcasting world. It's time for another episode of Share a Latte Podcast. Here, extraordinary women gather like friends at a coffee shop, sipping on life's challenges and sharing how they've triumphed over every obstacle. I'm your host, Min Sukree, your virtual coffee bestie. I'm here to brew up a heartwarming cup of empowerment, one inspiring story at a time. Imagine us nestled up in a cozy cafe, surrounded by the rich aroma of freshly brewed coffee, all set for a journey that stirs your heart, awakens your mind, and gears you up to tackle any challenge that's thrown your way. In each episode of Share a Latte, remarkable women share their stories about how they've weathered life's storms and emerged wiser, stronger, and more determined. These stories are like a warm embrace for your soul, reminding you that resilience and determination are the secret to success. So grab your favorite brew, get comfy, and get ready to soak in these amazing conversations. You'll discover your own power to turn these tough times into incredible strengths. The Share a Latte podcast sprinkles hope, courage, and the belief that you can not only handle life, but thrive into your day. All right, besties, it's time to embrace those tales of triumphs and get ready for another episode of Share a Latte. Hey there, besties, and welcome back to another episode of Share a Latte, the podcast where we come together over a virtual latte to listen to amazing stories of women who have overcome life's challenges. I'm your host, Min Sukree, and every Thursday, I'm serving up not just coffee, but a generous pour of life's wisdoms. I'll be sharing stories from my personal journey and hoping they resonate with yours. Let's kick things off with our daily caffeine ritual. I've got a piping hot cup of freshly French pressed coffee from a small cafe I visited in Vermont from my trip this summer. A delightful blend of comfort and warmth. So what's brewing in your cup? Okay, seriously, situationships. We've all had them at some point in our lives, right? I'm not the only one. Those blurred, undefined connections that leave us feeling both elated and frustrated. They're like a warm latte providing comfort in the short term, but potentially harmful if consumed in excess. So let's talk about why these situationships can be toxic and why it's essential that we learn to let them go. First of all, what is a situationship? A situationship is essentially a relationship with unclear boundaries and commitment. It kind of works in the gray area between casual dating and a full-blown relationship. It often starts with attraction and chemistry, and before you know it, you're caught up in a web of mixed signals, uncertainty, and emotional turmoil. I am a relationship girl, and in being a relationship girl, I had previously settled for situationships because I liked the guy a lot or thought that was all I was worthy of. I want you to be stronger and know that you're worthy of a true relationship, to know that you're better than to settle for a situationship. So let's break down why situationships are toxic. 1, the lack of clarity. In a situationship, you rarely know where you stand. This uncertainty can be incredibly stressful and emotionally draining. It's like sipping a mystery latte blend. You can't fully enjoy it because you don't know what it is. You are allowed to have clarity. Please, please, please accept that clarity is the bare minimum. And don't accept anything less if you need the relationship to be defined. And it's okay to have that relationship be defined. 2, emotional roller coaster. Situationships are often involved with intense emotions. There are highs when you're together and lows. It's like a caffeine rush from your latte, but followed by that inevitable crash. The emotional roller coaster can be draining. Tell yourself it's time to get off and stick to it. There is a massive communication breakdown. That's number 3, besties. In these non-committal relationships, communication often suffers. People may avoid having discussions about their feelings, leading to misunderstandings, and unmet expectations. Just like when your latte is too bitter because you didn't communicate your preferences to your barista. Communication is a muscle that we need to put into practice daily to be more effective. Situationships are not the place where you want to do this because you're never going to feel like you have the power to be able to vocalize what you need and what you want. 4, it will stifle your personal growth. Situationships can actually hold you back from pursuing a deeper and more fulfilled connection. You may find yourself stuck and unwilling to explore new possibilities, much like sticking to one type of latte and never exploring something new. Believe it or not, relationships really do help us to grow. A situation that isn't pushing you and allowing you to expand your knowledge or being the best version of yourself isn't something you want to be in. I want you to be the best version of yourself. But bestie, you should want that too. 5, it's a massive time waster. One of the most significant downsides of a situationship is the time you invest into something that may never evolve into a real relationship. It's like waiting for a never-ending line at a crowded coffee shop, only to find out that they're out of your favorite brew. I know that time is a social construct, but you also don't want to look back 5 years from now knowing that you are still following around that same Chad who won't commit to you or decide to make you his number one priority, when a Chris may come along and be that guy. You may not notice the Chris because you're too stuck and too involved with this Chad. So now let's talk about how you're going to get out of these situationships and detoxify your life. Here are my true and tried tips. 1, set those boundaries. Set clear boundaries with yourself and with those around you. If you're in a relationship with a person and you want quality time beyond the hours of 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., then you need to communicate that. And more importantly, you need to stick to those boundaries. If you request a date night on a Friday at 6 p.m. and he doesn't follow through, then you need to vocalize why this doesn't work for you. And if it continues, you need to be strong enough to move on. Letting something slide once because he had to work late or his mom got sick or maybe he got sick, I may let it go. But how many times, bestie, are you going to let it go? Because sometimes with me, there are times that I am cold and hard. I'll let it go right away. Like the Great Wall of China, your boundaries are fixed and shouldn't move. Don't allow some Chad to push them beyond what you are comfortable with. 2, reflect on what you need in a relationship. Take some time to reflect what you truly need and want in a relationship. If you want someone who spends quality time with you, then make sure that hits your relationship must-have list. Don't settle for that Chad who's going to spend time with you, but spend the entire time on his phone. You aren't being selfish for wanting what you want or needing what you need. 3, I said this earlier, but communication is really key. Talk openly about your feelings and expectations. If the other person isn't on the same page, it's about time to let it go. Communicate. Period. 4, prioritize self-care. Invest in yourself. Focus on personal growth. Try out new hobbies and activities that will bring you joy. This will help you become more resilient in navigating the complexities of dating. The best relationship you should ever have is the one you have with yourself. Get out of that situationship. You are amazing, and you should want to spend time with yourself. Learn to love yourself through grabbing a Starbucks and walking through a bookstore, signing up for that volleyball league, booking that girls' trip to Niagara and taking a wine tour, or buying a new journal and taking up bullet journaling. Find what brings you joy and focus on you, at least for a little while. 5, let go with grace. If it isn't clear that the situationship isn't healthy or isn't evolving into what you want, have the courage to walk away. Just as you leave a lukewarm latte behind, it's essential to release the relationships that no longer serve you. Will it be hard? Yes, absolutely, it will be hard. But remember, you are worthy. There is someone out there who will rise to the occasion and give you what you need and want. Just because the Chad you're with now won't meet you on a Friday night doesn't mean the Chris won't text you on a Thursday to tell you how excited he is to take you out and then show up at your door with flowers. Bestie, these men exist. Believe me. Believe that they are out there, and I promise the person you are looking for will come and find you. Remember that life is too short to be stuck in situationships that will drain your energy. By letting go of toxic connections and nurturing healthier ones, you can enjoy a more fulfilling love life, just like savoring that perfectly brewed cup of latte. Before I sign off and take my last sip, I want to remind you that you are loved and worthy. You deserve someone who will bring you the moon, or at least your version of the moon. Don't spend time finding that person or settling with a Chad. They will find you, and your Chads will just be a speed bump in your journey. Until next time, take care, and don't forget to enjoy your latte and your relationships responsibly. If today's episode added a touch of warmth and inspiration to your day, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. By doing so, you won't miss out on any future heartwarming journeys we'll embark on together. And hey, if you enjoyed our flavorful conversations and the embrace of this beautiful podcast, why not take a moment to leave a review? Your thoughts and your feedback mean the world to me, and it might even help others discover the magic of Share a Latte. So whether it's a few words or a heartfelt reflection, your review goes a long way in spreading the joy. Life is like a perfectly brewed cup of coffee, a blend of experiences that come together to create something truly remarkable. Just like every bean contributes to unique flavor, every cup in our cup of stories adds a depth of richness to our journey. Until next time, besties, remember you have the power to turn your trials into triumphs and your scars into stars. Keep believing in yourself, keep chasing those dreams, and above all else, keep thriving. This is Min taking her last sip from the Share a Latte podcast, reminding you that life happens and coffee helps.